So my first question for you, Dallas, how many people from the cast of High Heat did you get to do DDPY?
That's funny. I think just the director. Just the director.
Yeah. Now, this is an exciting role for you because I was looking at the credits. When I first heard that you were in the movie, I went, yeah, Dallas in another movie. You're the second or third name in those credits. Did you know that it was such a big, meaty role when you were asked to do it? Did you have the whole script?
Oh, yeah, I did. They sent me the sides first, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And then I said, I got to see the whole script because I get sent stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is not that good, I mean, it's just not. It's nothing. My most valuable commodity today is time. I'm going 3 months from 67 and I'm living my best life right now. So, I don't know how long that's going to go. So I want to manage my time. I got to really want to do something like this because, it's not like just memorization of lines. It's like, who is Dom? Like, who's that character? And to me, I want to, I always create a backstory, it's always me up till maybe I'm 15 or 17. And then whatever course this guy goes on, that's when I start writing. And like example, when I did Devil's Rejects and played Billy Ray Snapper at 17, he went off to be a Marine, and fought in Vietnam. And after Vietnam, he stayed there. And he turns into this whole, what we do in our lives really create who we become. And the character like Dom, I mean, I had a lot of friends of mine that were either fathers sure acted like wise guys, or were. And one of my guys who was his own type of wise guy was Chuck Zito, and Chuck's Italian, so he could have very been in an Italian mob than the Hells Angels. It's still a gang, you know what I mean? So I have a lot of friends of mine who are around that or in that. So I took little pieces of that. And, when you're playing a heel in professional wrestling, it's very big. It's very over the top as an actor, especially as a heel, being a heel when you're 6'4" and 230, less is more. So when I did, I knew, I knew who the character was, everything. I put a lot of work into it before I ever got there. And I was really happy that Zach, who was a director, he took almost all of my choices, because if you hit it on the first take or second take, well, you've already hit it. So they're normally on to the next one, but we had so much time. He's like, well, try it like this and try it like that. And I was so happy the choices that he chose. It was his, to me, it's his movie. I'm just playing a part,
One thing that you have in common with Dom, you both like massages. Was that written for you so you can get a free massage as part of the script?
Oh, that was funny. And I thought that guy who played Gary was, I didn't see those parts of the movie. I just saw where we came from. And there was one part where, he got Gary. The way I said it, he didn't use that one. He used something else. The way I said it was really funny, but it was like, oh my God, he got Gary. Like, that's my massage therapist. And I'm very preventative maintenance oriented, for taking care of my body. So that was funny.
Now, you said Gary, and without giving too much of the film away, Gary seems to be the only character that everyone in the film loves. Gary's name is probably the most said thing throughout the movie. Right? You thinking about that? Like, every character at some point says Gary. When you got the script, was Gary so heavily in there? Or is it that everyone loved Jackie so much on the set that he became a bigger part of the film?
I would have thought that, there's certain guys who can come in and do a role and the director goes, okay, let's do this, let's do that, and that's the way I see Zach. Zach pretty smart guy, you
Mhm.
know. Uh, Gary just, it's like he was very memorable,
Yeah. Yeah. Again, every character loves Gary. I love Gary. If there's a sequel, I hope that Gary is the star of it. But back to you here. Uh, this movie was not made in 2022, but it's a 2022 release for you. And it's been another big year for you. And now the end of the year, we know that that means the Positively Unstoppable Challenge is happening. Are you allowed to say what's coming up for you in 2023, or is it all secrets for now?
No, I tell you, I was just approached and I'm very excited. This will probably happen around 2024, but they are optioning the rights, it looks like, that Sports Religion. Are you familiar with that film company? That started by Tom Brady and Michael Strahan and Deepak Chopra's son. They've got a bunch of different, like they're going to do the John Madden biopic. Um, they want to option the rights for the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Wow. Okay. And
Very,
you,
very cool. We shot in 2022, we shot our first docu-series called Change or Die. And, that'll end up on some platform in 2023. Really excited about that. What's great about us, we are a full-blown production company. So
right.
we have the ability to keep filming long after the show's over. So after we finished it, the stuff that we got afterwards was as good or better than what we got. So, we kind of control our own destiny with that. So, I don't know any other film production that does that, because once they wrap, it's over until the next season or whatever, where with us, it's continual.
So recapping here with a bunch of compliments thrown in, you usually don't like to take compliments, but I'm going to give them anyway. A lot of your peers from the wrestling world are still using their wrestling accomplishments as the top thing in their life. What do you do for a living? Well, I was the world champion and all that. At this point in time, as an entrepreneur, an author, an actor, a producer, et cetera, it's almost like a lot of the people who follow you don't know that you are a wrestler at this point in time, that it's maybe accomplishment number 4 or number 5, right?
It's interesting because, there was a couple of people who are champions from our Positively Unstoppable Challenge for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, they didn't know me from that, they didn't know me from wrestling. And it's funny though, indirectly someone did though, like this one woman named Pam who had this unbelievable transformation. Her video will be out probably by the end of the year. She's 67 years young now, and she's living her best, just the best life she's lived in the last 30 years. And it was her son who said, you have to do DDPY. And she's like, what's DDPY? Said, well, it's Diamond Dallas Page's yoga for people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. And her transformation is amazing. And her son, and like she said, I only know DDP, the DDPY guy. And, it's really interesting. Probably about 12 years ago, I was doing a show, a wrestling show, a podcast thing. And they said, where will Diamond Dallas Page be 5 years from now? And this is before it ever took off, the company, and like years before.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, eventually, I said, I think that DDP Yoga will dwarf my wrestling career. And he was like, what? Bro, you had a great career, an unbelievable, a Hall of Fame career. I said, yeah, but what I'm seeing here, I said, in the next 5 years, Diamond Dallas Page will start to be known as the new Jack LaLanne meets Tony Robbins meets straight Richard Simmons. And I really think that it's going to start. And when I went in my first big Hall of Fame, which was the Cauliflower Alley,
mm-hmm.
the thing they called me, This is on their 50th anniversary. They called me and they wanted me to get the #1 award for the humanitarian.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool. But what about my wrestling? Oh, no, we want to put you in our circle of fame as well. I go, oh, okay. And I'm like, what? Like, I get that, but I want to, in that world, I still want to be remembered as that, And he said that I was the first one they were going to actually give 2 awards to, and it was on the 50th anniversary of Cauliflower Alley. And then, of course, one in the Hall of Fame in WWE, which to me is, the biggest one. But, I realized that what's happening, that when it's all said and done, I'll be remembered for wrestling, but nowhere near as much as what's happening today with DDPY.
Absolutely. And my last question before I let you go, you are synonymous before wrestling with the Florida nightclub scene, and you had success with your nightclub down there. And that led you to meeting pretty much every celebrity that was in town back then. Don Johnson, your co-star in this new great movie, also synonymous with Florida because of Miami Vice. Had you met Don in your nightclub heyday? Because you had told me stories about meeting Larry Hagman and all these other TV stars back then.
No, never did. But of course, my boy Stone Cold Steve Austin did. And so I had an immediate connection to Don because of that, because he has a lot of great memories with Steve. And we talked a little bit about that. And it was really interesting because I don't get intimidated by anybody. I just don't.
Right.
But for some reason, and, like I didn't have, you'll run lines, right? And he goes, let's just run them. And we were in the parking lot and I knew them. So I didn't have my sheet like every other actor's got. And I completely blanked out, forgot my lines. And I was getting frustrated. I go, God, this is embarrassing. And Don gave me a hug. And he goes, we're all in this together. I go, dude, I will deliver. He goes, I know you will. And then I got back on track. And then when we did it live, he gave me the look and he went, nice job. Like that was really good. So I think he was a little surprised. But and he was super gracious. I mean, that cat, he shot all of everything you see in in High Heat. You see, he shot that in 3 days. That's a lot. Like he's just he's as good as he is, and Olga Kurylenko was as gorgeous as you see, and I thought her fight scenes were great.
Right. Well, the film, kudos to you, gives you some laughs, a lot of action, some good drama and suspense. So congratulations on another great addition to your filmography.
Well, thank you, brother, and have an awesome holiday.
Paltrocast.